You know why I don't like introductions? You know why I wish you could just start and just, you don't have to worry about introductions. What you do is everybody wants to know who you are. But I'll tell you why I don't like them.
Okay.
I like them because it's like, oh, hey, hi, it's me, Ben, and it's Jake. And guess what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about him. So I feel so like there's a lull in the opener.
It's the Ben Show. It's the Jake and Ben Show. It's the Jake and Ben Show. Oh.
I texted you saying Ant-Man's awesome. And I didn't tell you much after. You seen it on Friday. Did you like it?
Yeah, I did like it.
You liked it.
I think maybe what we should do is, we're not introducing ourselves. We're not going to acknowledge the camera, right? But we should maybe tell each other what the plot was.
Yes, we're going to tell each other what the plot was. Okay, so, you've seen Ant-Man 2015.
Yeah.
And you've seen Avengers Infinity War.
Correct.
So, they tell us two things in there. In Ant-Man, they tell us Janet Van Dyne, she's stuck in this quantum realm. And we think she's dead throughout the movie, and then Scott goes there. It comes back. Spoiler alert for Ant-Man 2015. And then at the end, Hank is like, yo, maybe she's alive. Maybe I can save her. So we're going to assume that's, going to play in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And you end off with the Wasp. With, how come I forget her name? There's Hank, Janet, Hope Van Dyne.
Right.
She gets a costume. So we know that. And then we go to Infinity War. Spoiler alert for that. Find out that Scott and Hawkeye, they're on house arrest. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place, let's say, somewhat after Civil War.
Okay.
The events play into Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I think, yeah, and when we get deeper into our review, I want to talk about the timeline, because it doesn't really make sense to me.
I think I know where you're going with that.
Okay.
We'll
get into that, yeah. So that's pretty much what Ant-Man is about. And then there's some inconveniences, one being the villain Ghost.
Well, yeah, to actually talk about the plot of Ant-Man and the Wasp, you have, their mission is that they're going to try to save Janet. And within there, somebody has a particular mission that bumps with Hank and Hope's mission. They collide, let's say, which that's why they're in a pickle. There's your movie.
Right, and I think that's really about as deep as the movie is. Like, that's a really kind of fluff synopsis you gave, but it's kind of what the movie is. It's very fluffy.
It is, and when I had seen it, when I told you what I thought of it, I thought maybe you would think it fell flat. I'll let you speak for that. However, it's not, to me, like, when you talk about movies, there's an F word now. And this F word is fun. Anytime somebody says fun involving a film, they think, like, that's a jab at it. Yeah. With this, it's totally not for me. I think it's just, it's a blast. It's fun. And it's a summer blockbuster movie that it's fun. I can escape, and I can have a fun time for 2 hours. And that's what I had. I love the movie, I'll say that. I think it is better than the first Ant-Man. Now, the story, I didn't think until, like, recently, the story's not the greatest. I'll say that. However, it's so much fun for me. I love the character interactions. I think that's what this definitely makes, the movie's made from these character interactions. With Hank, Hope, and Scott. And I love Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp. She's the best part of this movie, for me. And you have these relationships, father-daughter, mother-daughter, kind of. And Scott's daughter, she's a standout for me. Now, we're talking non-spoilers here, so I'll say I like Ghost. I'll tell you more why with spoilers. Yeah. I want to hear what you generally think of this movie.
I think it's a good movie, and it's also one of those weird movies where I like it, and it's good, and I give it a positive review, but I have far more negative things to say, I think. I'm just thinking, like, specific things that I really dug about the movie, and I'm having a hard time. I think it's weird, but I think the design of Ghost is one of my favorite things about the movie.
I gotta agree with you. I think I would like to say it's unique. You haven't really seen much of what, Ghost is about with these movies especially.
Yeah, so, I mean, just that element alone to Ghost is great. I think it's funny, consistently enough.
Very funny. I wouldn't say it's the funniest MCU movie, but it's up there.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it is either, but I would agree it's up there. I like the Paul Rudd and his daughter relationship.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd, Ant-Man.
You know,
But-
I didn't realize that he was one of the writers on the original Ant-Man, and he's also a writer on this one.
Oh, really?
Didn't realize
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Edgar Wright's credited as a writer on the
Yeah,
first
he
one too,
originally had that.
Yeah.
That was originally his movie
Yeah.
way back when Iron Man was going, and then
right? Right.
obviously the MCU became a thing, and that
Yeah.
movie would have been different because now we've got this universe. But
Right.
yeah, he.
Anyways, but yeah, I think like I'm just thinking like, you know, the movie exists and it's fun in the moment. I don't think you're gonna remember too much about it afterwards. It's
I think there's something you're going to remember about this movie. However, it may not directly be about the Ant-Man and the Wasp.
okay.
story.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the
then.
thing with this, with Ant-Man and the Wasp, it is a contained,
Very
standalone
much so,
movie.
yeah.
However, it does what these, for me, some of the great MCU movies do is that they plant nuggets there that are going to be big in the future. Now, I'll save that for when we go towards the end.
Yeah.
However, I've said mostly my positive stuff. I have a significant negative. I have a minor negative. And then I kind of already said my one negative, that it's not the greatest story, but it's a lot of fun. And I just went with it.
Yeah, I feel very unpassionate about this movie. Is unpassionate a word? Regardless, that's how I feel.
See, I gotta say, I'm very passionate about it because I think it's so much fun and it's
really?
awesome.
See, I thought it was fun for the most part. I'd give it, a good review. I don't think it's as good as the first Ant-Man,
For me,
but
and it's not just say, oh, well, I think it's this, I think. For me, I want to say, I'll say your 20th movie in this universe. I think good job. For most, just like a trilogy, to make 3 good movies, pretty hard. To make at least 20 movies that are at least okay, I think that's an accomplishment. So,
no, for sure.
bravo
No,
for a
I
20.
don't disagree with that
However,
at all.
I do think it is a very good MCU movie.
Yeah.
Maybe not great, but a very good MCU movie. My biggest negative,
Yeah, it's
Randall
some
Park.
negatives.
get him the hell out of this movie. He's the FBI guy that's checking up on
I
Scott.
liked him.
I hated him.
Liked
I'll tell
him.
you why. Because he's an FBI agent. This guy's an idiot. He's a bumbling moron. Which, some of his bits were funny, I guess. But I didn't believe him. I didn't believe him. Especially within this universe we've built. He's an FBI agent. How did this idiot get the job?
Okay, I've heard. Oh, fuck! I wish I could credit where I've heard this, but they're trying to explain it away of why the bumbling idiot is an FBI agent, and they're saying how because it's Scott Lang or something.
I had heard that. Yeah, I had heard. That
Honestly, I never even thought about it. I thought, because maybe it doesn't fit into the MCU as a whole. If you look at other movies and imagine this person as an authority figure in that movie, it might not work. But I think
I couldn't see this guy
movie-
working with a Nick Fury.
No, but in this movie, I thought nothing of it. And then the movie finished and, I went home and I heard other people complaining that he was, the worst part. And I was like, no, I really liked him.
I had heard some negatives before seeing it. When he first comes on, I'm like, oh, he's not that bad. And then it's my biggest negative, but yet he's not in it that much.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 scenes
Yeah, I
in, if that's a spoiler.
I
but
enjoyed it.
yeah, when I seen him, I was like, okay, maybe he's not that bad. When I seen him again, I was just, get this guy out of here. He took me out of it. My other negative would be, and it's not a big one, because some of it I liked, and I'll say why when we talk spoilers, but there's a lot of exposition dumps that I felt were kind of unnecessary, but then, one of them, the biggest one, is necessary, but you could take some away from it.
I think that might be my biggest issue is kind of half that. There's a lot of science jargon that it's kind of convoluted, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't want to cut you off, but maybe speaking to that is, I was talking to somebody in the UK who, sorry to you guys in the UK, you can't see this movie until a month later. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because I think it has to do something with the soccer. I don't watch soccer, you guys football, but I was talking to them, this person, and they had said, hey, I seen a clip, and when Scott shrunk, he didn't have the helmet on. Was that explained within the movie? This movie definitely throws out the rules of the first.
They do. And I think that's a minor problem for me.
For me, I overlooked it. I didn't even think about it until after, but...
No, I think I was definitely
so much,
thinking it the whole time. It was just there's a lot of questions about the science of it. Not even just the science of it, because of course it's baloney, and you can tell a lot of the science is bullshit. But just like they shrink a building, right, and then they carry it around and whatnot. Does all the furniture slide around? What about everything inside? Is it nailed down? There's a lot of stuff where it's like, but it doesn't. And then to that point, they do go against just their own rules compared to the first one. Like I remember, I might be wrong, but like the first one, they shrink, but they have the same mass and everything's the same, but they're tiny, so that's why it's very powerful or something like that.
Something like that. I don't remember the science.
It's just like, and then like this one, like they shrink down the buildings and they wheel it out. I could have sworn they wouldn't be able to do that because I thought everything was still heavy. I may be wrong.
To me, where I naturally went was just it wasn't explained to me, but I just thought, hey, it's been a while, so I'm sure
I didn't care. I assumed it was different technology.
Yeah.
Even to that point, it's like they have objects that, like the building, for example. Right. They have that building, and it goes bigger, and it goes bigger, right? Do they have plumbing? Do they have
plumbing?
Electricity? How? It's not connected to anything. You're picking it up, wheeling around.
I never thought watching this movie. What's the plumbing like in this building?
Well, and then the way I just think is like he's like has all this tech, super genius. He maybe has like his own self-sustaining plumbing, hydro, whatever. It doesn't matter. So it's like like a minor thing where it's like you get thinking about it, but it's like ultimately it doesn't take away much from the movie. What does take away from it is they explain so much of the plot away using mumbo jumbo science stuff where it's like they'll introduce things all of a sudden. It's because of this bullshit science explanation when clearly it only exists to service the plot.
Yeah, well, let's stop here for a second.
Okay.
Do you want to take the reins off? You want to talk spoilers?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
So,
spoilers.
To sum it up, we'll sum it up first. To sum it up, it's a good movie, fun movie. If you're an MCU fan, go see it. But ultimately, I'd say it's nothing you'll remember too much later. But it's just light, kind of fluffy entertainment that is worth your money for sure. I'd give it, definitely a positive review. I think it's good. So
yeah, I think it's an awesome movie. I'd say definitely go check it out. If you liked the first one, I'm gonna think you liked this one. However, I can understand if people say falls flat.
Yeah, I think if you do like the first one, I think for the most part you would like this. But spoil it?
Spoilers. Okay. Why I liked Ghost. Now, Ghost is not a villain. So that's why I wasn't going to say,
no.
Is she a good
we never
villain?
talked about Walter Goggins.
Yeah, well, we can talk about Walter Goggins.
Sure, we should have talked about him, not spoiler free. That's alright, whatever.
Did you like him, Walter Goggins?
Fine.
Okay.
Completely fine.
Because you liked him in Tomb Raider, didn't you?
Yes, I love Tomb Raider's great.
See, I think Tomb Raider's okay. I think Walter Goggins in Tomb Raider is okay. I think Walter Goggins in Ant-Man and the Wasp, he's okay.
Yeah, see, I think he's fine. I think he's a talented actor, but I think his character's unnecessary.
Doesn't have much to do.
It's just like he's
there to be the
drive
villain.
around. Yeah, he just kind of like drives around and he's like just an inconvenience. Very much like Ghost is, but just Ghost has like more. I don't know if layers, but there's more to Ghost. There's
definitely more to Ghost. Is that she's not a villain. I kind of think of her kind of like Killmonger, except not as, erratic with her moves.
Yeah.
They both have a cause, but her cause is that she's dying. She wants to be healed. She doesn't want to feel this pain. And she'll do almost anything to not feel the pain and not die.
This is kind of, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing about the movie, but it's how I feel. I found I wanted Ghost to win a lot of the times because of course it's either her life or
Janet's.
Yeah, or her life. And I just thought, well, Ghost really should be the one who lives. She's younger, she's been, she has more life to live, and the other person, Janet's been gone for X amount of years.
But Hank and Hope are going to be thinking that. They're going to think,
of course not. Which is why it's very
bizarre
bizarre for me as an audience member to want to legitimately think the villain, the minor inconvenience character, should actually be winning. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing.
Well, I wouldn't say it's bad because in Infinity War, when we had talked, one of my big things is I wanted something big from Thanos, and I didn't want him just to be another villain who
Sure.
comes and goes.
I
And
think
I
it's-
wanted him to do bad shit.
Yes, I think that's different though, because I didn't want him to win. I wanted him to do bad shit for the movie's sake, but I didn't think he deserved to win. He didn't deserve to win. He was clearly the insane evil one.
Yeah.
His methods were not.
Where I was going with
Moral.
that, for me, I wanted him to win just based on.
Me too. I
story-wise.
get that for
Yeah.
sure, but I was never
definitely,
like.
yeah. With she has real reasons to.
I actually legitimately
yeah.
think Ghost should be the one. She deserves this. She's not an evil person. She is young. She has a life to live, and the other one's like, she's got white hair. She's lived her life. Ghost
Did
is
you
young.
like? Did you like Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah, I
love her
thought
in it.
she was fine. No one, Michael Pena. I think if anyone was a standout, I think it would be Michael Pena.
I wouldn't call him a standout only because of the first Ant-Man.
Sure,
He was great.
sure.
And
I guess you do lose a little bit because you've seen it before.
Yeah, and the one thing I'll say to that, if you were looking for Michael Pena telling a story, they definitely save it, and I think they nail it.
They do for sure.
Because in the first Ant-Man, I think you have him tell 3 somewhat quick stories, and this one you save it and you get a big one.
No, I love that for this.
One of my
we are
favorite
spoiling it,
scenes.
but we should talk more.
Well,
Details
yeah, one of my favorite scenes is when they're trying to get Janet out, and it's towards the third act, and she takes over Scott.
Yeah, that was one
Paul
of the
Rudd,
best
I
scenes.
think, plays that.
I wanted them to
perfectly.
kiss. They never kiss. I was like, kiss.
That would've been
It was
hilarious,
so
yeah.
fun. Even a kiss on the forehead, like a really gentle kiss on the forehead. I'm like, you wasted such a great opportunity. But that reminds me of a negative. They all of a sudden introduce this out of nowhere. You have this much time, or it's gonna close and we'll never be able to do it again.
Well,
It
not
was
that.
weird.
No, it's not. At least from what I got out of it, I'll have to see it again to confirm this. Though the way it's played, at least from what I remember, it's not that it's gonna close. Well, I guess in a sense, but it's more. Here's her location. It could move, and we only have this amount of time to pinpoint her location. And if
Okay.
we don't get there in that time, she's going to be somewhere else, and we can't find her. And we're going to have to do this process over again.
Right. Okay. That didn't bother me that much. Honestly, I think how I'm struggling to remember all these moments in detail speaks negatively towards the movie, just because it's watchable and it's good. It's good. Definitely, it's good. But it's also just kind of forgettable. It's kind of forgettable.
See, I gotta disagree so much.
There are funny moments and there's great moments, but I'm still thinking about Infinity War. If I'm to compare it to other MCU movies, and I don't hold it to that high of a standard. That not every MCU movie has to be that good.
Well, the thing with that is could it just be that Infinity War ends in such a place where you want so much more?
Probably.
And the way this even ends, you're like, I want more, and I want it now.
The way this ends after the initial credits, I felt that way.
Okay.
The first end credit scene is one of my favorite in the MCU.
I think it's one of my favorite post-credit scenes. And when we had talked before seeing this, I had said, it would be awesome. This was after Infinity War. End your movie the way you would. Have your first mid-credit scene be certain people disappearing. And we get that.
Yeah, and it's really good. It's totally convenient that the 3 people there,
Right.
the odds shouldn't be that, but
I didn't think Janet was going to go because when they got her out, I was like, okay, then she's a safe bet. I still think she'll come back.
poor her.
You just come back just to be dust.
Did you like that cross dissolve? I heard.
was a good one.
I heard. This fan theory, which is interesting.
Well, I don't want to stop you there, but let me go into that, and maybe this can, we can talk, get speculation for Avengers 4. They dropped something big in here, and it's not a throw, it's a very important line, but to me, I didn't even pick up on it until after. Janet says to Scott, she says something about time holes or time something.
Right.
And which is very big, and what puts that into context is that I seen set photos for Avengers 4.
Me too.
The set photos are from the first Avengers,
Right?
and you see an older Tony
It looks sick, yeah.
with a S.H.I.E.L.D. uniform on with Ant-Man there. I gotta assume...
Oh, I didn't see that. I saw the older Tony, and I saw Captain America in his original suit.
And Ant-Man's also there.
I don't remember seeing that. That's cool.
So, I mean, this is a theory I heard. I don't know if I buy into this fully, but hey, you know, there's the fun speculation.
What I was going with
yeah, let's hear it.
is, you know how Michelle Pfeiffer's character gets these weird powers?
Yeah.
From being, another thing that's seems like some science jargon there for the sake of the plot, which is another thing that kind of bothered me. I know a lot of people like hated it and didn't think it made sense. The whole movie kind of felt like that to me, where nothing really made sense. It just all kind of, well, it made sense in the context of the movie, I guess, but it all felt made up for the sake of the movie. I don't know if you know what I mean.
Well, I feel like that is just going to come with dealing with the quantum realm.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not a big science person, but I know there was a scientist or a few that came out and said, yeah, there's this like micro, whatever you call it, world.
Right.
That's,
no, I get that for completely. I
but then you also got to
gotta
make up your own.
Oh yeah, but it's not even that. It's just to like, it's just like this whole. Okay, well, I'm going way off what I want to say. I'm gonna get back to what I want to say because now I want to talk about this. It's like we have to rip. She's gonna fuck. What was it? They need her to get the powers for her, but then she's gonna die. There was just a lot of stuff.
Well, what I think where you're going with that is, Ghost, what she wants to do, and with the help of Lawrence Fishburne, I think I said his name right.
Yeah.
I'm having a
you did.
I guess a hard day recalling names, but what they're not trying to kill Janet. Well, maybe Ghost is, but Lawrence isn't.
No, of course not.
And their thing is, we need to extract her body or being from the quantum realm, and maybe she'll be alive, or maybe it will tear her apart. But regardless, it will save Ghost.
It's just a lot of the movie feels convenient. Like, oh, it's convenient that it would rip her apart, so then you can actually have some conflict. It's just like a lot of it feels out of nowhere, for the sake of conflict or for the sake of explaining things, or it was just felt very like in the moment, like things were developed and happened when they needed to, so that things can move forward, if you know what I mean. A lot of things felt like that, including the time thing at the end. Anyways, what I was saying, I read somewhere that someone thinks that Ant-Man is going to get the powers that Michelle Pfeiffer's character got. Some things don't really add up, like the time that they're probably going to be in there for, but they're just talking like, because she was in there for, so long she got these powers. Are they putting Ant-Man in there and he's going to get weird powers? I don't necessarily buy it, but I thought it's definitely an interesting.
Yeah, I don't think
that's where they're going.
Well, even for the one I heard, I don't think it's where they're going, but even if it does, how it's presented, I'll be down with this. One theory I heard is that Scott and Tony are going back in time to try to get the gems and use those, the Infinity Stones. If you present that in a way, maybe I'll be down. I'm not saying I'm not down for that, but like there's so many places you can go with. And when I seen those, I thought, there's got to be time travel. I would only assume so because this looks exactly like the Battle of New York. So what are they doing there?
Sweet.
What are they doing there?
I typically don't like time travel that much, but like it's used so sparingly in the MCU, and I thought Doctor Strange did it really well, that I think like if you go back to the original Avengers, pretty sweet.
It would be pretty sweet.
That'd be sick. Which it seems like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, well, yeah, but what like the context of like is
that
that big, or is it just something small?
We should talk about this.
There should be another video.
Yeah, let's make another video.
Avengers
Okay.
4. But however, I'll say like this is such a fun movie. For me, I thought it was awesome. I had so much fun. The mid-credit scene comes, and then it just rips you back into what you're feeling after Infinity War. It's like, Jesus Christ. Holy. Which, I'll ask you... No, I'll save that for Avengers 4. But this, the actual post-credit scene. You said... I already forget. Did you like that?
Like the actual very end? It was dumb, but I liked it.
Now, I know it's supposed to be funny. I liked it, but
TV.
not for the funny. I liked it seeing the world.
Me too.
After what happened.
Me too. The TV
Yes.
and like the siren or whatever that noise was.
I love
the
sirens.
alarm.
I don't know what's...
Yeah.
Like
No,
the
it
other
was
day,
eerie.
I
It
looked
was
up
cool.
Rogue One, like the Rogue One Death Star siren. I was listening to that. I don't...
Just listen to it.
It was weird, I know.
That's weird.
But I
That's
love
sick.
sirens.
Yeah, and I thought like when you see the TV, that's the first thing you see or whatever, and it had...
It got me right into it. I want to see more of that world.
I agree. I thought that was sick. And then you see the amp playing the drums, which I dug too.
Yeah, it was funny. You know,
I think, like,
Scott's routine.
I feel like came off negative in this review, but like, honestly, I think it's a good movie, and I would totally watch it again. Just like some things just felt like, maybe I'd change my mind when I see it. I don't know, or at least like not to this extent, but
Yeah, well, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Well, I'll talk about one more thing and then we can wrap it up.
Sure.
There's a scene in here, and I thought of the Deadpool 2 baby legs, except G-rated.
Yeah, that was funny.
So
school thing.
Yeah, they go into the school,
Yeah.
and Scott's suit, it's a prototype suit. It's not working all that well, and he shrinks down.
They did. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. That was good.
hilarious.
Yeah, I like that. I love Michael Pena.
Yeah, the guy who plays the Russian. There's a beat in there of talking about witches. You know,
Yeah.
there's a piece in there when
Yeah.
it's towards the end, and they do kind of. It's not like a close up on him, but then he's talking about this Russian witch, and then I think the score also was good. It's very different in each beat. It's not a great score. I think it is a good one though.
I didn't even think anything of it. I wasn't a fan at all. I mean, I fucking hate to not like it. It just kind of blended into
Did
the
you like the
background.
cars shrinking?
Cars. I didn't like how much I saw of everything in the trailers already.
I only watched the teaser and then the first official trailer. I didn't watch anything after that, so most of it was fresh for me.
Yeah, because there was a lot of like the Pez thing, and I wish I hadn't seen the Pez thing in the trailers because they have the whole thing where like they're looking at it like my daughter got this or whatever. Well, I know it goes big.
Yeah.
I wish like a lot
Yeah.
of moments I wish I didn't know that because I think that's a lot of the fun with Ant-Man. When he gets big on the boat to get the suitcase or whatever it was back, the building.
The building.
The building, that's what it was, yeah.
Because
it reminds me of a
for
suitcase
Hank
'cause he
and
was-
Janet to come
Yeah.
back. The
I wish I hadn't seen
These
that in
full
the
size.
trailer. That's another thing that did upset me was how much I've seen already from it. Which I mean, like, that's like, it's not against the movie
Yeah.
at all. It's just something that happens a lot with movies these days. But, yeah.
Well, yeah, that is Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm gonna throw this out here, all right?
Whoa, the camera's there now?
You watching it? It wasn't here. It's here now. I'm gonna say, and you're gonna call me nuts. This is the second best sequel to a standalone movie. I think it's
Hold
right
on,
behind
hold
Winter
on.
Soldier. I know you're gonna say
It's the second best
it's the second best
in the
sequel
MCU.
for these standalone movies. I think it's behind Winter Soldier.
In the MCU.
In the MCU.
Okay.
I don't think they've had great sequels. I think the
Do you
group...
count Guardians?
I liked it, but I don't...
But do you count that in standalone, even though it's a group of like okay? I
Well,
see.
because it's Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Iron Man 2, 3, like...
I see.
Of brand, not Avenger.
Okay, so just excluding Avengers. What else was there? You know, Iron Man 2,
Iron
Thor
Man 2,
2,
Thor
Winter
2.
Soldier.
Guardians 2.
Honestly, I think
Yeah.
it's better than Thor 2, Iron Man 2. I don't think it's better than Guardians 2. I don't think it's better.
You
than
love
Winter Soldier.
Guardians.
Guardians 2 is my favorite. Yeah.
Your favorite MCU
Yeah.
movie? Okay, see. Look at
Did you
that.
see the poster when you walked in? There's a poster.
I didn't
outside
see
the
that at
front
all.
door.
Look at that.
It's just a little IMAX one.
See, you guys can't see this, but there's an awesome Jon Snow poster.
You can see the bottom of it.
So yeah, you just can't see Jon Snow. That was glory. But you know what? We've been rambling on. I think we should end it here. I probably didn't say a bunch of things I wanted to say, but you know what? That's why we have our main podcast. Do you want to plug that?
Sure. The Jake and Ben Show. I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, then links are in the description. They are in every video of where to find it. But yeah, you must be watching this on YouTube because there's nowhere else to watch it.
Yeah. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe next time we should keep the review tighter because we're rambling.
We did.
We've
We
been
said we
rambling.
want to go short, and we rambled.
Shit.